The day was January 8th in 1886. Yes, it was more, for that was the day that my prophet was born. I never got a chance to meet him. All I ever heard was good things about him. Chief Minister, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth. And the chief looked up with a smile and said, the prophet is the chief cornerstone. The bill was rejected, but he still stood strong. And when he brought Islam in all his name. The prophet is the chief cornerstone.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Welcome to the Moorish Temple of America 1928 program entitled Islam in America, a Moorish Perspective, here at WHPR TV 33 here in Highland Park, Michigan. I'm your host, Salyuddin Muhammad Bey, and next to me is Brother Baki Kareem Mir. We are legal and lawful representatives of the Moorish Temple of America 1928 in the state of Michigan.
Islam.
We come to you today to press upon your minds a true and honest introduction to the faith and religion of Islam and Islamism brought by our holy and divine prophet Drew Ali. There are many brothers and sisters looking towards Islam for a better way, but all they see is confusion because of the different ideas people are attaching to Islam, such as the UCC idea or the sovereign citizenship idea. And in all honesty, none of that has nothing to do with Islam and Islamism brought by the prophets, either Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, and in particular, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So here today, we, the Moorish Science Temple of America 1928, under Supreme Grand Sheikh Dr. Rasadiel, we will expel these ideas with the teachings of our holy and divine prophet Noble Drew Ali, starting with the article entitled, What is Islam? Islam is a very simple faith. It requires man to recognize his duty towards God Allah, his creator, and his fellow creatures. Islam teaches the supreme duty of living at peace with one's surrounding. Islam is preemptively the religion of peace. The very name Islam means peace. The goal of man's life, according to Islam, is peace with everything, peace with Allah, and peace with man. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, tells us that the final abode of man is the house of peace, where no vain words or sinful discord would be heard. The holy and divine prophet Noble Drew Ali says that a follower of Islam, in the true sense of the word, is one whose hand, tongue, thoughts do not hurt others. The object of man's life, according to Islam, is the complete unfoldment. Islam teaches that man is born with unlimited capacities for progress. Islam does not support the idea that man was born in sin. Islam teaches that everyone has within himself the seed of perfect development, and it rests solely upon himself to make or mark his fortune. The cardinal doctrine of Islam is the unity of the Father Allah. We as Moorish American Muslims believe in one Allah, Allah who is Allah, all mercy and all powerful. Allah is perfect and holy, all wisdom, all knowledge, and all truth. These are some of Allah's great attributes, so far as we can understand. Allah is free from all defects, holy and transcendent. Allah is personal to us insofar as we see his attributes working for us and in us. But Allah is nevertheless impersonal because he is infinite, perfect, and holy. We Moorish American Muslims do not believe that death, decay, or sleep overtakes him. Neither do we, as Moorish American Muslims, believe that Allah is a helpless, inert, and inert force. Nothing happens without his knowledge and will. Allah neither begets nor is he begotten, because these are the trails of frail and weak humanity. This unity of Allah is the first and foremost pillar of Islam, and every other belief hangs upon it. Islam, Islam, Islam.
Islam.
You know, that was a very, very powerful article. And we hope and pray that you brothers and sisters really get a chance to understand that. And we're going to get into breaking it down. We have references from our Holy Bible. We have references from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. We have references from the Holy Quran of Mecca. And, you know, we'll just jump right into it and start with the first question. What is faith? And, Brother Baki, what did our holy and our divine prophet tell us what our faith was?
Faith is what man knows is truth.
Islam. And that can be found in your Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America, chapter 7, instruction 29. You know, it means it's a very simple faith. It means that you don't have to do all these ups and downs and sideways and backwards and forwards to please Allah. All you have to do is that which is right. Treat your next of kin fairly. Treat those that you don't know fairly and righteously. You know, that's the simplicity of our faith. And in today's society, most people have these ideas that are far-fetched, that you have to go and hurt people and do all these foreign ideas. But our holy and divine prophet brought it to us plain and simple, you know, just for us. Okay, question 2 is, what does faith mean? Brother Baki, what does faith mean?
Faith is what man knows is truth.
Yes, sir.
And faith is having strength enough and courage enough to follow your prophet, our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and believe in Allah.
Islam, yes, sir. You know, faith is a way that you do a particular thing. You know, Islamism, when we deal with the word ism, that is the practice of. So we know the American version of the word Islam is peace. And what that tells us is that we follow the ways of peace. If you refer to your Holy Bible in Acts 10:36, it tells you that Jesus came preaching peace. You know, so if we substitute the word peace with the word Islam, that is what Jesus was coming to preach. Peace. That is what Prophet Muhammad taught, was peace, was Islam. You know, so yes, sir. What does faith mean? Faith is what man knows is true. You know, he's living that out. He's practicing that every day. You know, okay. The third question that we had was, what are those duties that must be recognized in Islam? If Brother Baki would go back to the article in the first paragraph, he's going to read what it says.
Islam is a very simple faith. It requires man to recognize his duty towards God Allah, his creator, and fellow creatures.
It says, what are those duties that man must recognize in Islam? What are some of the duties that our prophet talked about in this article that we as Moorish American Muslims must recognize?
It teaches the supreme duty of living at peace.
Islam, most definitely. He also said in that same article, in that same paragraph, that we must have with the fellow creatures and what else it say? The fellow creatures. Let me refer to it, Morris. His duty towards God Allah, his creator, and his fellow creatures. You know, he gave us 3 things that we must recognize. The first thing that he gave us that we must recognize was God Allah. Then he said his creator. Islam.
We also have a chapter in our Holy Quran called Social Duties, which
Islam, Mobile.
goes right along with what peace is and what being in harmony with everything, including creatures, those of living things.
Islam. So we can read some of those things out of our Holy Quran, social duties. You know, because we bring these lessons to life when we read them. We put them into action, you know. In page 39, chapter 30, instruction 2, it says, it is the duty Therefore, to be a friend to mankind, as it is thy interest that man should be friendly to thee.
Islam.
Islam. See, he said it first. He said, it is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind. So as a Muslim, as a Moorish American Muslim, it is our duty to be friendly to you. You may not be friendly to us. And that's okay. Because we're going to do that which is right because we're in the business of pleasing Allah. Islam?
Islam. We here to bring about peace and harmonious conditions.
Islam. Islam. Okay. So those are some of the duties that we have to recognize, that Allah is Allah. That is what we have to recognize first and foremost, that Allah is Allah. And the second duty is we have to recognize and understand who our creator is. Okay? And then we have to understand the creatures that surround us that we must be in harmonious conditions with. Number 4, what does Islam teach it? As our brother Baki spoke about earlier, he said Islam teaches the supreme duty of living at peace with one's surrounding. Islam does not support the idea that man was born into sin. One of the great questions that we need to kind of expound on is, what does sin mean?
Sin is when you willfully go against the will of Allah.
Islam, most definitely, willfully, because the brother said willfully. That's knowing that you're doing something against the will of Allah. You're knowingly doing it. And these brothers and sisters out here that's misrepresenting our holy and divine prophet and his divine movement, they are willfully going against the will of Allah. You know, there's a statement that our holy and divine prophet gave to Supreme Grand Sheikh Edward Miliel on before he passed for him. He asked the Supreme Grand Sheikh, who are you with? You know, it was a lot of people out there that wanted our holy and divine prophet's seat. But Allah and our prophet knew who they wanted to sit there because he had been tested, tried, and true and proven to be faithful. So Miliel had a great opposition against him. So he recognized his duty. He recognized that the teachings were his everlasting work that he had to continue to do at all costs. You know, so those are some things that we have to reflect back at, because history allows us to compare what's going on in the era of time today. So if you compare the UCC idea, the sovereign citizenship idea compared to what our holy and divine prophet brought, I don't think they can measure up. What you think, sir?
No, they can't.
You know, they can't measure up because our prophet came and brought us something directly from Allah. Okay.
Islam and that idea came about after the prophet had passed on.
Islam. You know, Islam. Okay. Who is Allah according to Prophet Noble Drew Ali? That is a profound question, because you can't worship Allah if you don't know who Allah is. You know, there's a lot of stories out here about many versions of Allah. You know, you're supposed to have the Trinity. You're supposed to have many different names and ideas for Allah. But we, as the Moorish Science Temple of America 1928, are taught that there is only one Allah. Though many may call him by different names, that he is still the one creator, the one of all, Allah. And our Holy Quran and our Prophet teaches us in this same article who Allah is. And I'll read that again so we can have a clear understanding who Allah is. He says, the cardinal doctrine of Islam is the unity of the Father of Allah. West Moorish American Muslims believe in one Allah, who is all God, all mercy, and all powerful. Allah is perfect and holy, all wisdom, all knowledge, and all truth. These are some of Allah's great attributes so far as we can understand. So in this article, our prophet is telling us the source from which we come. We have to understand and know exactly who he is. What you have, more? You want to read something out of the Holy Quran?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Allah is free from all defects, imperfections. There's a great saying out in the world that I'm not perfect. You know, our prophet teaches us in our Holy Quran, chapter 1, the seed is perfect from the source that it comes from.
Islam.
So if Allah is perfect, I am perfect. You have to believe and understand and know that. Because that's the source that we come from, more. You know, these foreign ideas that we're out here practicing doesn't come from Allah.
Well, you have to willfully want to do Allah's will.
Islam.
See, when you get on that path of righteousness and you reach a certain state of mind, then you can't do nothing but move forward. And this is when Islam comes into effect, that faith and peace comes in. You start being peaceful with everything, as our prophet was saying in the Moorish literature.
Islam.
But you got to be willfully do that. You got to move towards doing the will of Allah and being on that righteous state.
Islam. Well, we wanted to share some references with you, but I gotta. Oh, here they go. Okay. So more, let's open our Bible and let's go there and read a few of the. And we have our Holy Quran, we have our Bible, and we have our Holy Quran, the Moorish Temple of America. So let's go to Acts 10:36. You know, most people do not understand who the true Jesus is. Our prophet said, Prophet Noble Ali said that his secret was Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're going to give you a bit of an insight on what he was saying when he said that. So can you read that more?
10:36.
Yes, sir.
The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ.
Islam. So what it says is the word which God sent. So Allah sent something to the children of Israel. And that specific word, that specific way of life was Islam. We know that the American word for Islam is peace. So most people always try to wonder and have this misconception that Jesus was a Christian. But if we read the Bible tells us that the word Christians didn't get detached to Jesus until after Jesus was gone. But there's no one out here teaching our brothers and sisters these things. You know. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go to the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. Okay. Chapter 43, instruction 21 through 22. And what we want to do here is we want to show and prove to you that our religion and faith isn't new. In our Moorish questionnaires, it tells us in 17 and 18, what is our religion? Islamism. Is that a new or is that an old-time religion? Old-time religion. That lets you know that by being an old-time religion is because it began with Allah. It began with Allah. And it trickled down to our holy and divine Prophet Noble Drew Ali today. This is the same way of life that Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Buddha, Prophet Jesus were teaching to their people, but was revised to fit the conditions of those people. Okay, so our prophet, being blessed by Allah, loved us so much that he interpreted that version for us. And so we're going to get the more to read it. Chapter 43, instruction 21 through 22. Instruction 21.
Instruction 21. When thou see thine insignificance more plainly, view at thy devotions. To what end was religion instituted, but to teach thee thy infirmities, to remind thee of thy weakness, to show thee that from heaven alone art thou to hope for good. Instruction 22. Doeth it not remind thee that thou art dust? Do it not tell thee that thou art ashes?
Islam. And when we break that down, so what our prophet is telling us in here about this religion called Islamism, he says, to what end was religion instituted? To teach you your weaknesses. That's what Islam is here to do, to help you to understand your weaknesses, your limitations. Okay? To remind you of your weaknesses, to show you that from heaven alone, from Allah are you to hope for good. That's a question. Then he rounds it off with saying, do religion not remind you that you are dust? We can go through the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, the Mecca, with many ayats and verses and instructions to tell you and show you that you come from dust. We can go in the Bible, the Holy Quran, the Moorish Perspective of America, Holy Quran, the Mecca, and show you that you are ashes. These are things that we already know. We just have to make them applicable in our everyday life. When you see a true Moorish American Muslim, you see him doing that which is right. You do not see him out smoking, drinking, in the clubs, with his fez on, with his turban on, doing all unkindly things. The Moorish Temple of America, 1928, that's headed by our Supreme Grand Sheikh, Dr. Rasadi, we are to be the message that we bring.
Islam.
Islam. Speaking of our Supreme Grand Sheikh, Dr. Rasadi now. Islam, sir.
I'm so proud of y'all. We're watching your show now.
Thank you, sir.
We want to give y'all high honors. You and Brother Baqueet, as representatives of the Moorish Temple of America, 1928. Want to give you high honors.
Islam.
Islam, sir. Okay, sir. Can you call in, sir? Yeah, yes. I'm gonna read the number to you right now, sir. 313-862. I mean 8. Okay. 313-868-0342. Islam, sir.
Islam.
Islam. Queen Mother.
God giving y'all great honors.
Islam.
Giving honors to y'all, giving all praises due to Allah, and giving honor to Allah and the person of the Prophet Noble Ali, our Savior.
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate y'all.
Thank you,
show
sir.
started off beautifully, and it's beautiful to see Moors on television speaking up on behalf of who that we love. Allah and the Prophet are one.
Yes, sir.
Islam.
We want to thank y'all. And for those watching the show, keep your eyes on the prize.
Yes, sir.
Islam. I'm going to get off there so y'all can finish doing what y'all doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Islam.
Peace and love. Praise Allah.
Peace and love. Praise Allah.
Yeah.
Islam. Thank you, Supreme Grand Sheikh. For anyone that like to donate, send best wishes, well wishes, and supporters, you can contact us at Moorish Science Temple of America, 1928. P.O. Box 161968, Atlanta, Georgia, 30321. The phone number is 1-888-361-2499.
You might have to repeat that, sir.
Okay, we'll repeat it again. Moorish Science Temple of America, 1928. Post Office Box 161968, Atlanta, Georgia, 30321. Or call 1-888-361-2499. If you'd like to get in contact with myself, Sayuddin Muhammad Bey, or Kareem Baki Il, you can contact us at 248-961-8670, study group number 2, out of Pontiac, Michigan, 189 Charles Lane. We appreciate you all. We'll continue to uplift and bring true Moorish Science Temple of America to the state of Michigan. You know, because back in the days, our prophet had 1,500 adapts in the state of Michigan, and we want to bring it back to that level of existence.
In over 10,000
Members. And we want to thank any and everybody for their support. We'll have a DVD. If you couldn't watch it today, we'll have a DVD for you to get. You'll be able to call the home office, which is the information we just gave you, or call ourselves, and we'll get that information to you so you can purchase you one. And this is going to be twice a month, Moors, that the Moorish Science Temple of America, a Moorish Islam in America, a Moorish Perspective, will be airing here at WHPR TV 33, Highland Park, Michigan. You know, so is anything that you'd like to say, sir?
I'd like to say contact us. We always available, and we can talk about Islam from a Moorish perspective, 1928, at any time.
Islam.
Bring your cups empty.
Yes, sir.
We will fill them up.
Yes, sir. You know, that's the great thing about our Supreme Grand Sheik. He holds no bars. He holds no bars. He's unapologetic, but he's truthful. He's going to give it to you the way that you need it. You know, Islam, there's no compulsionary in Islam. You don't need, we're not trying to force you to get into this. But for those that want it, need it, here's an opportunity in the state of Michigan. And we're here to aid and assist every brother and sister, because we know for surety that Allah is Allah and that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is his prophet. And if you have any inclination to want to know that, please contact us at all those numbers that we gave you.
And the truth is firm and concrete. It's not soft.
That's right.
It's not soft.
If you got a soft back, this might not be for you. You know, because over here, we live the law and love the law. Islam. With that, we're going to leave out with our intro that was led by our elders in our temple, a rendition of The Temptations, When Papa Was a Rolling Stone. We love that song. Peace and love, Morris.
Peace and love. Praise Allah.
The day was January 8th in 1886. Yes, it was more, for that was the day that my prophet was born. I never got a chance to meet him. Oh,